Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zulhilmi bin Muhammad Zaidi. My student ID 20209503005.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Iskandar and my student ID is 2020 T84891.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amizam Mizakwan. My student card number is 2020160229.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Akid Daniel bin Muhammad Anwar. My student number is 2020957007.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Ashar Husaini. My student number is 2020325771.
In this video, my group will discuss the topic meaningful and nature of partnership. There are two situations that we will discuss in this video. Situation 1. Ahmad and Abdul want to create a partnership in manufacturing business. Both of them agreed to bond a partnership and bring their cousin to help the business. The business consists of 15 partners and the partnership is named as Ahmad and Abdul. So, is this business is a valid partnership in a court? Okay, now we go to the introduction. Definition of partnership. Section 3 subsection 1 of Partnership Act 1961 state that partnership is a relation which subsists between persons carry on a business in common with a view of profit. Then, Section 3 subsection 2 of the Partnership Act 1961 further state that cooperative society, registered stationery and started companies are excluded from the above definition. The definition of the partnership, section 3 subsection 1 of the Partnership Act provide the following essential element of a partnership. Then the word relation signifies that partnership is a relation, not an organization and its own right with a separate legal entity. The word person indicates that the partner consists of more than one members.
The first issue that arises from this situation is whether there is a partnership contract between both parties. Before we answer this question, let's dive into the related law for this situation. Although Section 3 Subsection 1 does not state from where this relationship arises. In Wong Peng Yang vs. Nayake, Wee Chong Jin J note that it has been clearly established that an agreement expressed or implied is the source of relation. It is therefore a relation resulting from a contract. In other words, a partnership can arise from a contractual agreement expressed orally or in writing by the parties or implied from their conduct. The use of other terms or terms to describe the relationship does not rule out the existence of partnership if the intention is to form a partnership. In Ratna Amal and Anor vs. Stein Show so, the parties entered into an agreement to form a syndicate to sell condensed milk. The word partnership was not used in the agreement. The court held that from the fact the relation of the party had the business character of a partnership. Therefore, notwithstanding the avoidance of any reference to a partnership in the agreement and the use of the word syndicate, the arrangement arrived at was a partnership. They had agreed to carry on the business in common with a view of profit. Now, let's apply all the law. In this situation, Ahmad and Abdul want to create a partnership in the manufacturing business, and both of them agree to bond a partnership. According to Section 3, Subsection 1, it does not state from where this relationship arises. In other words, a partnership can arise from a contractual agreement expressed orally or in writing by the parties or implied from their conduct. As both parties agree to bond a partnership, then there can arise a partnership. For example, in Wong Peng Yang vs. Nayake, Wee Chong Jin J note that it has been clearly established that an agreement expressed or implied is the source of relation. It is therefore a relation resulting from a contract. Furthermore, The use of other terms, name or terms to describe the relationship does not rule out the existence of partnership if the intention is to form a partnership. The name of partnership between both parties is Ahmad and Abdul. There is no word of partnership, but it does not rule out the existence of partnership, and it is accepted. For example, in Rana Amal and Anor versus Tan Chong So, the party entered into an agreement to form a syndicate, and the word partnership was not used in the agreement. The court held that from the fact the relation of the party had the business character of a partnership. Therefore, notwithstanding the avoidance of any reference to a partnership in the agreement and the use of the word syndicate, the arrangement arrived at was a partnership. In conclusion, Ahmad and Abdul is a valid partnership because the agreement is expressed orally between both parties and the name of partnership is accepted.
Second issue is whether the partnership exceeds the amount of maximum partners. For the law, although the section does not state the maximum number of members, Section 13 of the Companies Act 2016 limits the number to 24 ordinary partnership, whereas professional firms have no limit. If an ordinary partnership exceeds the number of the 20 partners, it will not be considered as a valid partnership. Now let's answering this issue. For the second part, they want to bring their cousin to help the business, and the business will consist of 15 partners. According to Section 13 of the Companies Act 2016, limits the number to 24 ordinary partnership, whereas professional firms have no limit. If an ordinary partnership exceeds the number of 20 partners, it will not be considered as a valid partnership. For this situation, the partnership consists of 15 partners and it does not exceed the amount stated. For example, in Tan Tek He versus Cheng Tian Peng, that consists of 25 persons, could not take legal action in court as a partnership, and it was not recognized as a valid partnership. In conclusion, Ahmad and Abdul does not exceed the maximum number of 20 partners for ordinary partnership. To sum up, from issue 1 and 2, Ahmad and Abdul did follow the nature of partnership of the relation and person. Thus, this business is a valid partnership in court.
Okay, so we go to the situation 2. Ali and Abu form a partnership in a small retail business that store a range of everyday items such as snack food, soft drink, grocery, confectionery, tobacco product, over-the-counter drug, toiletries, newspaper, and magazine. Meanwhile, Achong is a sole proprietor of a retail business that sells car spare parts. One day, Achong wants to enter into a joint venture agreement with Ali and Abu to develop a piece of property. However, Achong realized that his business is selling spare part business while Ali and Abu are carry out retail business. So, in this venture, joint venture agreement is valid in partnership law. In definition of the partnership, Section 3, Subsection 1 of the Partnership Act 1961 state that partnership is a relation which subsists between the person carry on a business in common with a view of a profit. Section 3, Subsection 2 of the Partnership Act 1961 further state that cooperative society, registration stationery, and charity companies are excluded from above definition. The definition of partnership, Section 3, Subsection 1 of a partnership provide the following essential element of a partnership. The word business means that partnership must have existence of the business. Therefore, partnership cannot be formed for the benevolent or artistic purpose. Carry on in common require the business to be carried out on behalf of all the partners.
The first issue that arises from this situation is whether the partnership formed by Ali and Abu in the small retail business is considered as a business. For the law, Section 2 of the Partnership Act defines business to include every trade of occupation or profession. The section provides a very wide definition, thus need to consider all relevant facts to determine whether there is a business. In Custom and Excise Commissioner versus Lord Fisher, inviting friends and relatives to a pheasant shoot for a small fee was not considered as a business. In Chettinad Bank Limited versus Chop Hao Lee and Chop Lee Chun, pawnbroking was considered as a business. The word carry on business implies that the business must be existing, which is not merely a preparation to carry on business in the future. In Cat Spicer Limited versus Mansa, goods were ordered to be used by the business after it had been formed. It was not paid and the plaintiff sued for price. The court held there must be some commercial venture involving selling of goods or services before there can be a partnership. Now let's apply all the law. In this situation, the partnership formed by Ali and Abu is operating a small retail business that stocks a range of everyday items such as snack foods, soft drinks, groceries, confectionery, tobacco products, over-the-counter drugs, toiletries, newspaper and magazines. Section 2 of the Partnership Act defines business to include every trade, occupation or profession. Retail business sells goods or services to consumers, which is sale to business or institutional customer. A retailer purchases goods in large quantities from manufacturer directly or through a wholesaler and then sells in smaller quantity to consumers for a profit. In Chettinad Bank Limited versus Chop Hao Lee and Chop Lee Chun, pawnbroking was considered as a business as it gives profit. In conclusion, the partnership formed by Ali and Abu operating in a small retail business is considered as a business. Ali and Abu did follow the nature of partnership of the business and the partnership valid in court.
The second issue is whether the partnership has agreement between their partners in common. For the law, carry on in common requires the business to be carried on by or on behalf of all partners. In Chui Siu Chong versus Lucky Height Development Sedem Berhad, one party to a joint venture agreement contributed land, whereas the other party carried out a housing development project. There was no business in common because each party intended a wholly separate business. Now, let's answer the second issue. Achong wants to enter into a joint venture agreement with Ali and Abu to develop a piece of property. However, Achong realized that his business is selling spare parts while Ali and Abu are carrying out retail business. Section 3.1 of the PA defines carried on in common requires the business to be carried on by or on behalf of all partners. In Chui Siu Chong versus Lucky Height Development Sedem Berhad, one party to a joint venture agreement contributed land, whereas the other party carried out a housing development project. There was no business in common because each party intended a wholly separate business. In conclusion, when Achong joined ventures with Ali and Abu, there is no business in common because Achong is selling spare parts business while Ali and Abu are carrying out retail business. So they intended a wholly separate business. So Achong did not follow the nature of partnership of the business carried on in common. So this joint venture agreement is not valid in partnerships law.